Aruna. Aruna. Yes. Aruna Sharma. Om. Om Sahana Vavadu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Tvam Yogino. Up till now it was Tvam Tvam Tvam, which is the first case. Tvam is the first case, then Tvam is second case. Good guess. So Tvam Dhyayanti is not Tvam Dhyayanti. You are not the one meditating. Who is meditating? Yeah, not you. Yoginaha. The subject is Yoginaha. Subject of the sentence Yoginaha Tvam Dhyayanti. Plural. So there is more than one yogi. You know, Yogin, Yoginau, Yoginaha. Yeah. Yogin, Yogaha Asya Asti iti Yogin. You know. And this means the one who has yoga. What is yoga? Good buddhi here. The good buddhi to delineate between the real and the apparent, viveka, and the strength to pursue to reject the apparent and pursue the real. What is that? Vairagya. So yogi is the one who is together, endowed simultaneously with viveka and vairagya. So such people who are pursuing nothing but you, or primarily you, all other pursuits subserve the pursuit of Bhagavan. Such a person is called yogi. Who is, and the yogi is described in the Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter. Who is a yogi? The one who is yukta. Who is yukta? Yukta ahara. Ahara means the one who eats in a moderate way. Does not keep piling things on the plate. No? Moderately. Yukta vihara, whose movements are moderate. You don't just start jumping and dancing around for no reason. And then yukta karmasu, with regard to actions, yukta, moderate. Yukta cheshta, enough movement, adequate movement, not too much, not too little. Yukta swapna, swapna here doesn't mean dream, sleep. Enough sleep, not too much, not too little. Avabodha, spending adequate time in the waking state also. This is called yukta. This is a yogi. The one who is a person of discipline, moderation, and who uses all actions to purify the mind, not for the sake of fulfilling desires, but the actions are used as opportunities to mentally purify the antahkarana, the inner instrument called the mind, for mental purification, and for focus the actions are used so that one can pursue self-knowledge. Such yogis meditate upon you. And why is this said? For the sake of prashamsa, for the sake of praising Bhagavan, or praising the importance of worship, it is said. Such exalted yogis meditate upon you. I mean, this is to inspire us. Oh, if yogis, we thought yogis are already exalted, but even yogis are meditating upon whom? I want that. I want the best thing, and usually the best thing is around centers around the tastes of who we consider exalted. And if some big celebrity, like, I don't know the names, but some big celebrity musician now, pop music, wears a dress and goes to some event. Overnight, that dress will fly off the racks. Why? You know? And then we can say of the dress, Tvam celebrities dhyayanti nityam. You know? You are the object of love for all celebrities. So it goes, and if there is a celebrity says this food is good, it becomes a fad. This is what becomes a fad, because it immediately becomes famous. Because all the fans, I told you what fans was short for. So everyone is after this. You see this, you know. Even Michelle Obama, you know, she will wear something, it becomes famous. She will do something, it becomes famous, because we regard such people as Shreshtha, exalted. And the same Bhagavad Gita tells us, Yadyad acharati Shreshtha. Just as the exalted person behaves. Where? When? At all times. Tattateva itaro janah. In the same manner, all the other people also follow. Sayat pramanam kurute, lokastad anuvartate. People just take, follow the people who take the lead in matters of all important matters. So too in matters of Bhagavan, who else do we have to follow other than the yogis? So we see the yogis meditating and we say, oh, we have to sit up, this must be worth meditating upon. If the yogi who has given up almost every other pursuit in life other than Bhagavan is meditating upon Bhagavan and is retaining one pursuit, that means this must be the pursuit. So this is, this is the effect it should have on the other jivas. So that is why it is saying that which even the rarest and the most exalted of yogis pursue, that is you. They ironically, paradoxically, they who have given up everything retain you alone. Why? Because you are their nature. You are the truth of their nature. They retain you alone. And then this one is just to show Tvam Brahma, Tvam Vishnu. You are, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. The three things we talked about with reference Bhagavan's names, with reference to creation, sustenance and resolution. And then some other important luminaries that keep the Jagat going. Indra. Why does Indra keep the Jagat going? Because all the jivas want to go to Indra after death. That's why. Logic. Because why so many? Rigveda is full of Indra worship. Because he is the heaven, everybody is heaven bound. So, idhar ka boss, you have to please. You have to please the boss here and you have to please the boss there also. Yeah. And so you keep doing oblations, and so that he will invite you for a personal tour for his end. Goddess Shachi's palace. So when you are there, you can just go. Wow, you have stained glass here also? Oh, that's what you can do. And come back. Because come back, one will. If the root cause, the Moola Ajnanam, is not dissolved, it is resolved that you will come back. This is what it is. So here, so Indra and then Agni. So Indra is the very important for going to heaven. Agni is very important for life here. Otherwise life cannot continue. No, but we have sun. Hello, what is sun? Agni. That's why Ishvara is represented by sun. Wherever you see sun, that's why sun worship means Ishvara worship in the form of Agni. Agni, the temperature obtaining in your own body. Agni. Agni Tvam. And then what? Vayu Tvam. That which keeps moving things. You are Vayu. And then what? Then the two luminaries that we are constantly in touch with, the celestial sources of light, Suryastvam You are Surya, Agni and Surya are mentioned separately. Agni with regard to the fire, Surya with regard to the heat, the temperature, the light giving aspect, the ability to see, ability to bring everything to light. Prakashatmakam, Atmakaha. And so Suryahatvam. And then the Surya you can't even look at. What is the use? Therefore Chandrama. The moon has its own power. It has a Akarshana Shakti, a power to draw. That's why she affects the tides. The moon affects the tides. The moon also has a pull over the mind. And this is even understood by Western psychiatry. It is taken into consideration that the moon has something over the emotions. So around full moon and where the moon's force is strong, they say that people who have mental illness, are more affected. They say, I don't know, but that's what they say. Then Chandrama, the moon also has a wonderful effect, a cooling effect on the mind. The moon calms the mind down. And the moon has a restorative effect on plants. By day they are nourished by the sun, Veda says. And by night there is a Vanaspati Sukta, this one says that. And by night they are nourished by the moon. And if you look at the planter's almanac, it will tell you that certain things should be planted in new moon. Certain things should be planted in harvested in full moon, like this. There is a whole planter's almanac. So the moon itself is a very powerful entity. So the moon, all the celestial luminaries, Tvam Asi. And then finally, what are all these things? Brahman alone. You are Brahman. First you start with Brahma and then end in Brahman. And Bhur Bhuvas Suvarom is a declaration. This is what is there true in all three worlds. That you alone, who is manifest as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Jagat, Jiva, everything is nothing but Brahman. This is the truth in all three worlds. Because if you don't like this truth and if you say I am migrating from Bhuhu to Bhuvaha, it's not going to help. Because in Bhuvaha also you have to pursue Vedanta. No, I'll go to Suvaha. Can't help. You have to, there also you will have to pursue Vedanta to get rid of this affliction called samsara, which is in the form of one's own ignorance. So this is true in all the worlds up to Brahmaloka, because even in Brahmaloka, if you don't study, if Brahmaji is teaching, Kathopanishad, and you are looking out from cloud 9 and admiring some other, angels which come by with harps or something, wings, you're seeing all the drishya in Brahmaloka and you're distracted, you will still come back, says the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And so study you have to, because of this knowledge you are free, because you are already free, but you don't know it. So karma does not free, only knowledge frees. And so this reality is affirmed in all three worlds. It is an affirmation. Ganadim Purvamucharya Varnadim Stadanantaram Anuswarah Parataraha Ardhendulasitam Tarena Riddham Etattavamanuswarupam Gakarah Purvarupam Gakarah Purvarupam Akaro Madhyamarupam Anuswarascha Antyarupam Binduruttara-rupam Nadasandhanam Sagamhita sandhi
Sagamhita Sadhihi
Saisha Ganesha Vidya
Saisha Ganesha Vidya
Ganakarishihi
Ganakarishihi
Nijrit Gayatri Chandaha
Nichritgayatri Chandaha
Ganapatir Devata
Ganapatir Devata
Om Gam
Om Gam
Ganapataye Namaha.
Ganapataye Namaha.
With the sixth mantra, the teaching concludes. What? Already? That's what the student sitting at the feet of the teacher also said. What? It went by so quickly. Teaching has concluded. That's why he decided to go on afterwards. Yes, the teaching has concluded. That Ganapati, who is Gananam Patihi, who is the Lord of everything, the Lord of all, who is everywhere, who is all pervasive, whose essential nature is non-dual Sacchidananda, who is that, who is the only source of existence, who is the only source of knowledge without being knower known, and who is limitless, who is limitlessly existent, limitlessly knowledgeable, is also manifest as that ruler of the universe who is all power, all might, omniscient, all pervasive, and is the Lord of all the quarters, all the groups, all the jivas. And where is this Lord? This Lord is you. This Lord is beyond everything but is you. His Mahavakya was given, and even a small baby meditation on the Mooladhara Chakra was given. Using the tailbone, always locate. You come back to the source by understanding that you're flowing, distractedly splitting into various tributaries, searching for the source. You did not find. You got lost. So always come back to your source. And this is what was given. And what is the source? The only resource for this source is Ishvara. The source is Ishvara, the resource is Ishvara. The means is the end. The means and the goals are just one. And because I don't know the goal, I have to employ the means to discover then the mean is not separate from the means, are not separate from the goal. And so all this was given. What more is left to talk? Nothing more is left. The teaching is complete and the teaching is full. So either the students refuse to get up and go, or the students had a question which is not repeated here for the sake of brevity. Sir, I know I am Brahman, but how to internalize this? How to understand this? So then this is very much in keeping with the pattern of the Upanishad, that after the teaching, certain practices are given to stabilize the mind and to so that it can pursue uninhibitedly the knowledge with focus and strength. So these are strength giving practices. They don't produce the knowledge. They give strength to the pursuer, to the one who is pursuing, the seeker. They give strength to the devotee to continue the pursuit by firming up the mind, by giving it focus and clearing it of ragadveshas. So chitta shuddhi and chitta naischalyartham upasana is given. Upasana means meditation. And so the teacher starts by giving what is considered a highly secret, to be revealed soon, mantra. In fact, all mantras are supposed to be secret, correct? Everybody who gives a mantra, except in our tradition, we don't say that. But generally people who give mantras say, this is at most secret, you won't tell it to anybody. Why? Because they don't want the people to find out it's the same mantra. Maybe that's why they say that. We don't know. But we have a great teacher from the Vishishtadvaita tradition, Ramanujacharya. And he, received a similar secret mantra from his guru. Om Namo Narayanaya or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya he received. I forgot which mantra he received, but he received this from the guru, and the guru said, don't tell this to anybody. What did he do? He literally climbed on the thatched roof of the ashram, on the rooftop, He said, why shouldn't I tell anybody? First he asked, why? He tried to understand cognitively, why shouldn't it be? No, it is secret. And what does it do? This mantra removes all ragadveshas, gives vairagya, and gives, Narayana sits in your heart when you chant the mantra. He says, Narayana sits in the heart when you chant the mantra, and this Narayana is not being made available to the whole world. Of what use is this Narayana if he is not available to the whole world? So thinking, he climbed on top of the roof of the ashram and proclaimed, this is the mantra that will help you cross samsara. Ye one and all, listen. Om Namo Narayanaya. The teacher probably went like this. What else will he do? So, you see, so much for the secret mantra. Really speaking, secret, it is all, there is this shroud of secrecy, this whole thing, so that it's not abused and given to the wrong people. The wrong people means someone who is not an adhikari, that's all it is. So here, this is the mantra. First the teacher gives the mantra, and we have to take this mantra in many different ways. Perhaps the teacher, since nobody got up and left, perhaps he thought that they want to continue on this pursuit, and it's time to initiate them into a mantra which will help them to power the pursuit. So he gave, along with his blessings, he gave the mantra. That is one interpretation, one way you can look at it. Another way is that they all looked kind of lost and they had questions. They were either afraid or shy to ask. And he thought, okay, let's just give them a mantra so that they practice the mantra along with, this the study of this Upanishad, so that the knowledge becomes stable. You see, because the Upanishad is a lady of few words. We have already seen this. And you know what? Even the teachers of the Upanishad, other than in our Arsha Vidya tradition, they don't teach like this. I have gone and listened to a lot of Mahatmas in Uttarkashi, in this Kailas ashram, etc. We have gone and sat there. They will just they don't go away from them. It's authentic teaching. But really, it is incumbent upon the student to do all the work and to figure out the connections and everything. All that is not spelt out. It is there. It is latent. It is for them to, the onus is put on the student. The student has to really be extremely serious. Either has to stop coming because they are not understanding much, or they are not getting much out of it. Or if they are serious, they have to really sit with every single verse outside of class and think of what is this really about. They have to sit and then do that. So that's why here also the teacher is giving something else to sit with, a prop, an aid, a cushion. So this mantra is a cushion so that the seat becomes stable, so that you're not wobbly in the knowledge. So here it is a mantra that is a cushion, is both stabilizing and supportive and makes everything comfortable. So too this mantra is like a cushion. It makes things comfortable, it is stabilizing, and it reinforces what you already know while making the way to allow that knowledge to assimilate. Okay? So the mantra, the mantra is given. And the teacher spells out the mantra literally. Ganadihi, Ganadim, object case. Ganadihi means what is at the beginning of the word, that which is at the beginning of the word Gana. Ganasya adihi yaha saha. So what is at the beginning of the word Gana? Abba. Okay. Ga. So this Gakara Purvam Ucharya. So he's really spelling out the mantra. First Ucharya means first pronounce, having pronounced first the Ga sound, G sound without the consonant, without the vowel to help. First you articulate or try to articulate the G, and then follow it up, Varnadim tad anantaram. Immediately follow it up with the next letter, which is what? A. So ga, don't say ga. It is one word, ga. Don't go saying ga, ga. People will think, you're mad. Don't do that. So, varnadim tadantaram. And after that what? Anuswaraha parataraha. After that, even next to the akara is the nasalized sound, anuswara. So, ga plus nasalized sound is what? So, don't say ga plus How do you pronounce it? Gum. Gum. Yes. Anuswara parataraha. Gum. And this anuswara is a particular kind of a specialized anuswara. How many kinds of nasals are there? 5 kinds. And then how can you have a specialized nasal? This is a Vedic, it is called Ardhendu, the crescent moon with a dot nestled in it. Very beautiful to look at. It's called Chandra Bindu, the crescent moon with a dot in it. It's used only for Vedic things. It means you have the privilege of ming for a little bit. You can drag the just half a matra or 1 matra or so. Gum.
Gum.
Yeah. Not just gum. Gum.
Gum.
Yeah. This is the mantra that was given. And then to tell the student, if you want to, this is, itself is enough. This is the mantra. That's a simple mantra, 1 syllabic mantra. Because perhaps the students had, were expressing some restlessness and, or inability to learn and memorize, what is that? Long mantras. And the teacher doesn't want to overwhelm them. This shows the compassion of the teacher in the Upanishad, that you start off small. You start off where you can. Oh, I don't have time for 108 Om Namo Narayanaya. Just say gum once, okay? Say it properly. Gum once. Once you say. So this is how to kind of take the stress out of the teaching. This is how we learn how to teach. And this is where, I got the idea for 1 minute meditation. OMM, 1 minute meditation. You start with meditating for 1 minute. Keep an egg timer. For recently you have become vegetarian, so what are you going to do with the egg timer? Use it to time the meditation. See, nothing is useless. And so you time the meditation and let it keep going, and you know that it's going to ring or ding in 1 minute. So you just be as undistracted as possible and keep saying Om Namah Shivaya or whatever mantra, gum 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 for 1 minute, and then you know you are free after that. And then later on you can build up on 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Like that I said here in Eugene on one time. And then somebody went and told somebody else, this was some classroom situation, I suppose at the university. Somebody went and told, oh, she doesn't believe in meditation. She says only you meditate for 1 minute, that's all. So I say I have to be careful now. So this is just the beginning. So this teacher also starts, this teacher this is how I learned. The teacher also here starts very small. Just say gum. The student says, oh, I think I can do that. Is that all is needed to assimilate what has been studied so far? Yeah. Just say gum. That's all. And some people wanted more. Then he added, Tarena Riddham. If you want to fortify this mantra, and if just gum you feel is not enough, add Om Gum. Of course, Om will come before. But look at the sagacity of this teacher. He doesn't say first say Om and then say Gum, because that Om is overwhelming. Already it's 2 syllables. So now, first he just gives the mantra that is complete in itself. He doesn't say what Ga means, what A means, what means. He just tells you how to pronounce it. He gives baby lessons. First say G, then add a, then say ga, and then say gum. And the student says, oh, this is easy. And some other students say, that's all? Really? It's that simple? Well, if you want to fortify it, add om, which is called tara here. Taraha means that which helps cross samsara and cross this world of names and forms, which immediately invokes Bhagavan as that nameless, formless, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, that Brahman which is you. So now how long did the mantra become? Om. And Om also has that crescent moon, so you can drag it a little bit. Om Gam. Yeah. Om Gam. And then he gives a little pointer after that. Ardhendu Lasitam. Have fun with the nasal sound, he says. Lasita means dance with it. Lasa, have joy in the so abide in the nasal sound. So he's giving us permission to drag it a little more. Om Gam.
Om Gam.
And feel the yeah, that's what he says. Feel the play with it. In fact, there is one pranayama called Bhramari. Bhramari means bee. And you mimic the sound of the bee. It's a nasalized pranayama. You keep going and what that sound does is it's a call back to yourself. That's why he says, don't worry about other chanting rules. I am giving you permission to flout them here briefly for the sake of centering the mind. Om Gam. Something happens when you see that there's some kind of a reverberation in the head, and the thoughts quieten down. So the sound quietens the restless mind, quietens the thoughts and brings you back to yourself. It's actually medicinal. It's for mental well-being. You can chant that. Because there is a certain frequency that is there, like an electromagnetic frequency that responds to certain sounds. And so here, that sound has the Chitta Naishchalya effect. It brings the mind back to focus, back to yourself. Gets rid of useless thoughts, worries, anxieties. So the teacher himself gives the directive. Please, Ardhendu means that have fun with that nasalized sound. Take it a little further if you need to. And then, etat, this is your manu rupa. Etat tava, your manu swarupam. Manu means, manu here doesn't mean human. It means the unformed form. What is unformed form? Unformed sound. If you reduce Ishvara to a sound, who am I to reduce Ishvara to anything? It's not really reducing Ishvara, because Ishvara is the truth of every sound. If you have to pick one sound that represents Ishvara, it is of course that universal sound is Om. And here, in addition to the universal sound, here the sound of that which is the creator, sustainer, destroyer, resolver, everything is Gam. Yeah. It also resonates with the energy center in the tailbone. This Gam sound. What does it do? It stops you going in circles, like the dog chasing its tail for your origins and going crazy. Calms down the search and directs you in the correct place. The false origins, you give up the search for false origins. False and finite origins, you give that up completely. That is what Om and Gam does here. And that's why Gam, because Om is the general one, Gam is specific to this search for origins and everything that we studied here. And this is the as close to the formless as possible, because the formless here is represented by not even writing, because in those days there was no writing, by a sound, Gam. And then he elaborates. Gakaraha purva rupam. So the Ga is the first portion of this form. The G sound, G, the consonant. Akaraha madhyama rupam, the A is in the middle. Anuswaraha antya rupam, the nasal sound is afterwards. Binduhu uttara rupam, bindu means the extended nasalization comes at the end. And then Nadaha Sandhanam. So he spells out the mantra again. Why? Because in case the people did not get it. Or maybe some people came in late and said, oh, mantra was already given, I was still having my coffee. I was still on the break. Can you do this again? Sure. Gakaraha purva rupam, akaro madhyama rupam, anuswaraha antya rupam. First it shows how to pronounce, and then in the next instance it shows what the mantra contains. Binduhu, this dot, and the crescent moon is at the end. And then Sandhana means what is it that holds it together? What holds this Gam mantra together? What gives the mantra the being? Its articulation. Only when it's articulated, it is held together, correct? This is what is called a sound symbol. Pratika, it's not a symbol which is a written down symbol. So the sound symbol, how do you reproduce? How is it activated? When it is reproduced, when it is articulated, alone it is activated. Its power is activated upon articulation. So the power of Gam is activated upon its articulation. So the Sandhanam, that which brings together, is the sound of the Gam properly uttered. And that's why there were two sets of instructions how to utter it. Om Gam, that is the Sandhana. Om Gam. And when you that nada means that sound, the heard sound is the blessing of the mantra. The blessing of the mantra is not in writing it or taking a class on how to pronounce it, but actually pronouncing it, actually articulating it. The mantra blesses upon articulation. That is called nada. That is the sound. And then he cautions, Samhita Sandhihi. Samhita means the art of pronunciation is in keeping the sandhis where they are. So you don't say g plus 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 gam. No. Just like you don't say a plus u plus aum. You don't say that. You don't go aum. Why? Because in the whole section on sandhi, it says that you, like a married couple, the consonants and the vowels that belong together must never be separated. Must never be separated. And so, therefore, you don't go in the middle. You don't put any, you don't put any avasana, any space between the two things. You don't say A-U changes into O. So you say Om. A-U is no longer there. They have given up their rupas for the Swarupa of Om. So too what the A, U and Ma stand for, the waker, dreamer and sleeper. They have given up their individuality and their individual stations and they have resolved into the truths of the individual, occasional, incidental stations they occupy as the waker, dreamer, sleeper, into the truth of all of them, which is neither the waker, nor the sleeper, nor the dreamer. This is what it is. So that has to do with the sleeper, correct? And so that's what it is. It's resolving everything. That sound makes you resolve all the thoughts. And so here the teacher warns for those who might be phonetically non-inclined to say that the sandhis are important, don't break the sandhis. So the two things hold the mantra together. One is the sound and the other is the sandhis. All the ways they are conjoined together, don't separate them. And then he concludes, Sa esha, Sa esha, this here, she, this knowledge, Ganesha Vidya, this is the knowledge of the Lord of all the Ganas. This is Vidya, knowledge here means Upasana. Vidya means Upasana. This Vidya means sacred. The sacred knowledge. And what is this knowledge? It's a mantra. So here Vidya is used variously in the Veda to mean knowledge, to mean karma sometimes, and to mean meditation, upasana. So Vidya here should be taken as this is the upasana. This is a meditation that helps you to contemplate upon what you have studied and to remove any viparita bhavana. What is viparita bhavana? Any kind of opposite kinds of behavior. I know I am Brahman, but I am behaving like a Brahman. If that problem is there, then this mantra helps to remove that wrong orientation with the body, mind, sense complex, wrong identification. And so therefore this mantra helps to stabilize what you have already studied and assimilate that knowledge further. There is another reason why it is called Vidya. Because what is Vidya really? Vidya means knowledge, right? And how did this mantra come out? It came out from the teacher while teaching the Upanishad, you can say, or it came out in the heart or in the mind of the Rishi who was channeling this Upanishad, you can say, correct? Then the question that is frequently asked is, why there are no modern Upanishads? Why all BC Upanishads finished? How come I cannot channel an Upanishad? Just like the Rishis saw the Upanishad, why can't I see the Upanishad? You can also see the Upanishad. For that, what is required is that the Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti and Kriya Shakti, which we talked about earlier, be freed of their finite pursuits and remain free to channel what is there to be discovered and seen. So the Rishi did not invent this mantra. He just saw it and repeated it. It was already there. So he didn't invent it, he discovered it. And so to the modern Rishis, when we talk of Newton, Einstein, Pasteur, all these people, Fleming, penicillin, all these people, they discovered it. They discovered Ishvara, an aspect of Ishvara which is useful in terms of our daily life. And so that is alone the Vidya. Vidya is not information. Vidya is knowledge, that is the presence of Ishvara when I discern a part of the order that is there. When I see how this order functions. And here what is reproduced is the order of sound, nada. This is what, when I see how the sounds are arranged, when I see that arrangement, when I am able to reproduce that arrangement, and when I find that there is a blessing and a healing force which others can also learn and share, and when I freely give it, that is when one is a Rishi, really. Without putting a price tag. He didn't say this mantra is going to cost $750. First, write down the check. Then I will give you this mantra. He didn't say that. Because I have discovered it, it is free. It was freely given to me and I give it to you freely. Or he didn't say, if you get this mantra, you should not go to other gurus, because this is another kind of manipulative techniques which people do. If you receive mantra from one guru, you have to stick to that guru. He didn't say anything like this. He just saw the need for it was there, and it came, and he gave it. Saisha, Sa Esha, Ganesha Vidya. This is the knowledge of how to get close to this aspect of Ishvara, which is the creator, resolver, destroyer, which is really the, sustainer, which is really your own truth. How to overcome this alienation that is rising from the base of the spine. I am alone, I am unwanted, it's permeating the entire, this whole tree trunk, which is the spine, the spinal cord. Doesn't take long to reach the head, because if you water the wrong things at the root, then it goes straight to the leaves and the foliage. And then the head starts to say, nobody loves me, I am abandoned. Nobody is there, nobody cares. This is the problem. And so therefore this Vidya was given, and to firm up this Vidya and if supposing the Vidya was understood, but still the leaves seem to have retained the toxicity of the wrong feeding of this tree, the spinal tree with the head in the leaves. So then this Om Gam is a spray that you can spray on the leaves to take off the bugs from, you go from all angles. So to any residues you take off by spraying Om Gam on top. You just do some housekeeping, some kind of, rejuvenating mantra. Saisha Ganesha Vidya, and Vidya here is not information. So in that sense it is knowledge, but knowledge of what? Upasana. Knowledge of how to firm up the teaching rather than self-knowledge itself. And then it says, Ganaka Rishihi. Ganaka is the name of the Rishi that channeled this Upanishad, this mantra. So you can say this mantra or this Upanishad. I think we should say this Upanishad. And maybe his name was something else, but because he channeled Ganesha mantra, his name became Ganaka Rishi. And then the meter is talked about. Nichrid Gayatri Chandah. Chanda, Chandas, meter. Gayatri we know. What is Gayatri? Gayatri is a meter of 24 syllables. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naf Prachodayat. 24 syllables. So a meter has 24 syllables. So you see Om is there in Gayatri. A meter that has 24 syllables is called Gayatri. Here the meter is Nichrit Gayatri. Nichrit, the word Nichrit means mixed up. Oh, Gayatri mixed up? No, Gayatri mixed up along with other meters. You see mantra 6 that we saw, that is in Trishtup actually. 11 syllables, 11 or 12 will come. The sixth mantra, the other one is Gayatri. Now what's going to follow is Gayatri. So like this, different meters are used. Gayatri also prominently features. So it's a particular kind of a meter called Nichrit Gayatri, where Gayatri features, but so do other meters. A mixed Gayatri meter. Why is this given? The authorship and the meter, why is this given? This authorship and the meter, authorship always belongs to not some local Ganaka, it's the Rishi Ganaka, correct? So when you take Rishi's name, who is the teacher of this Upanishad, who is the teacher of this Vidya, this Ganesha Vidya, and who is the teacher of this mantra, then his blessings or her blessings, because there are female mantra, Rishis also have given mantras, and so their blessings are with us when you take the name. So then when you take the name of that teacher who channeled this Upanishad, then you are taking the name of the entire lineage of all students who studied this Upanishad and then became teachers of the Upanishad. So and you are reaffirming the whole student teacher lineage, and the blessings of the entire lineage is there because all of them are so happy that you are studying this Upanishad that they bless completely. All of them are happy. They are happy in the form of Bhagavan. Yeah. They are happy because they are all Bhagavan, and Bhagavan is very happy that you are studying the Upanishad through the lineage, and so it is important to take the blessings of the Guru, and since it is a heard sound, the chandas becomes important. So there is a place in the Chandogya Upanishad that says, always recall, to amplify the power of the mantra, recall the Rishi and the meter when you chant the Upanishad or the mantra. It amplifies it. It's like putting noise cancelling headphones. All the other noise is cancelled out. You are focused now. And then, and who is the presiding deity of this Upanishad? Ganapati. Ganapati, naturally. And who is Ganapati here? Ganapati, the nameless, formless Lord of all things that come in groups, that the Lord of everything that is there, the truth of you. You have to see both the essential Swarupa, Sacchidananda, and the Swarupa of the Creator, Resolver, Sustainer, everything all together. Okay? So, Ganapatihi Devata, that is the presiding deity of this Upanishad. And then, since the Ganapati is the Devata, the mantra, first what was the mantra? Om. First it was just Gam. Then it was Om Gam. Now the student looks a little more awake and is ready to assimilate more. And so the second mantra is given. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam.
Om Gam.
Ganapataye Namaha.
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
So, very casually, without any, introduction, the second mantra is given. First, Om Gam was given, and now a slightly elongated version, an 8-syllabic mantra, if you don't count the Om, is given. And what is the difference? The Gam is elongated. The Gam is a pratyahara here. It's a short form of saying Ganapati, Gam. You just call him by the first syllable, Gam. Hey Gam, Gam. Because I don't have time. I'm still restless. I'm on the move. There are many things to be accomplished. But having said Gam, 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 the mind has quietened down to unpack this Gam into a whole Ganapati. Ganapati, 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 Gananam Patihi, Ganapati. But what about this Ganapati? What to do with this Ganapati? Can't just keep repeating Ganapati. What is my immediately, you can't repeat somebody's name. Immediately the question of relationship comes. Who is this person whose name you are constantly repeating? Who is this person to you? Then in relation to Ganapati, then I make the discovery, I am the devotee. So here is Ganapati and here is devotee. So how does the devotee address Bhagavan, the Lord? Namaha. I salute you through my surrender. My surrender, let my surrender be your salutation. And my salvation. Give me the strength to put everything onto you. You are everything. So the mantra now, which was a esoteric monosyllabic Gam, flowers and blossoms into an active prayer of surrender to overcome that helplessness of which we talked at length at the very beginning. Namaha. Name, it's all you. So my helplessness also belongs to you. Here, take it. Take it away. That's why Lord is called Hari. Hari means what? Hurry up. That's what it is. Hurry up and take it away. The one who takes, hurry to take. Hurry. And then this mantra is elongated, unfolded and unpacked for those students who are ready for this. You see, it's all the question of readiness. If one says, I have allergy to Bhagavan, if you say Bhagavan, I'm going to run away. But I still want this knowledge. Okay, keep saying Gam, Gam, Om, Gam. What is Om? Oh, just formless. Yeah, say it. Om, Gam. But for the student who is ready, we go to the next level of upasana, which is the lying down, the prostration of all fears, helplessnesses and everything possible. And then you articulate it fully and say, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Very popular mantra, taught to students, taught to children, to remove what this mantra, the blessing of this gum. See, the gum is the original obstacle remover. You see? Yeah. Of all that has clogged in the brain. There's a lot of clog, backup, Gum is the draino. So you clear it out. Everything goes cleared out. And then the mind is ready to receive what is that. In that clearing, you can see the benefit of surrendering the helplessness to that one and only entity who is able to take it without judgment, without reprisal, without fear of reprisal, without the fear of non-acceptance, without the fear that the person is going to die and will not be there. No, none of those fears. Without the fear that the person will talk back, nothing. The one who just takes everything. And then for such a student whose mind is cleared, the gum draino has worked. And then what? Braino. Yes. Keeps the brain cells clean. Not draino. It's very unsavory. Braino. This is what it is. So the braino has worked, and because the braino has taken out all the raga dvesha, backlog, then finally the student is able to appreciate the mantra. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, and discover in the person a devotee. That is the second level of mantra. Then for those who are even readier, the third level is given, which is called the Ganapati Gayatri. A Ganapati mantra in the Gayatri meter, very popular again. Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantihi Prachodayat Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantif Prachodayat. Yeah. If you are having audio problems, shift to live stream. Otherwise, log on and log out and log back in. So, now this is what is called Ganesha Gayatri. What is Ganesha and Gayatri combined? No. Ganesha mantra in the Gayatri, presented in the most sacred meter. Chandasamasmi Gayatri, Bhagavan declares, of all the meters, I am Gayatri. And so Gayatri is a sacred meter. Something about that 24 syllables, everything must be some esoteric, significance. So first mantra Om Gam, then Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, and then it is elongated, and then this one most beautiful. This is the mantra for seekers of self-knowledge. And here the Gayatri proceeds like this: Ekadantaya. And when when the word aya comes, what case is it? Fourth case. Especially with akara sounds, akara nouns. And so Ekadantaya. Ekadantaya means unto the single tusked one. Don't say tooth. Here, that sounds funny. Single tusk. Yeah, because this Ganesha, there is a story associated that Lord Vyasa invoked him to write the Mahabharata, because the Mahabharata was coming so fast that he could not write as fast as he thought. So Lord Ganesha became the scribe, and suddenly they didn't, in those days they didn't have ballpoint pens. And so suddenly there was a need for a pen because he's writing. So he happily broke off a tusk and started to stencil the Mahabharata with a tusk. That is the story. So therefore single tusk. There is another meaning also, an esoteric meaning, I will tell later. And then Vidmahe. Vidmahe means from vid to know. What is Vidmahe? We know. We know this single tusked one. Hey, what do you mean we know? I don't know, you may know. So what have we been studying about this? We have been studying Ganapati Vidya. So we have been studying all about Ganesha, and even though he may manifest as a single tusked one, we know what he really is all about. He is Sacchidananda. He is my own self. He is the end of the search he represents the true end of my search for origins. He is the truth of me. We know him. This is such a nice way to pray. We know this single tusked one, and then Vakratundaya Dhimahi. Vakratunda is the curved trunk one. The trunk is always curved because it's in search of laddus. Yeah. Again, there is an esoteric significance. We'll come back to that. The curved, bent trunk, the curved trunk one we know, and Dhimahi we invoke. There's a difference from invoking from knowledge to invoking ignorantly. When you invoke from ignorance, you may invoke the wrong things. Same thing when you say, I really want, I want this, I want that, some useless thing one asks for. Therefore it says, be careful what you ask for because you may get it. So, but when I ask from knowledge, the prayer becomes very different because I know what I want. And so here we know the single tusked one, we know the curved trunk one, and we invoke from this place of knowing. Dhimahi, it's a collective prayer, very powerful. We invoke. Tat naha, that single tusked one, that curved trunk one, naha, us, may that tusker, dantihi, may that tusker, prachodayat, inspire us. Do something to our buddhi so that we continue to think in this manner clearly. Lovely, isn't it? Ekadantaya vidmahe,
Ekadantaya vidmahe,
Vakratundaya dhimahi,
Vakratundaya dhimahi,
Tanno dantif prachodayat,
Tanno Dantif Prachodayat.
Very nice. Say this 11 times every day. It is amazing. Amazing. You see how it transforms your life. You will see that. When at the end of 11 days. So should I stop saying it after that? Don't. Continue to say it. So here, may I be inspired. May our minds be, fall in the right thoughts. May our minds be purified. Inspired means purified. Aired out by the sounds of Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, which is further expanded to the Gayatri meter. How come the Gayatri meter doesn't say Gam? Because Gam has already finished its job. Yeah, Gam has done the braino. And then now is the real mantra of a Jignasu Bhakta. Jignasu. The one who is desirous of self-knowledge. That is the one who is going to say this. And then there is all these things here, esoteric significances from the Shiva Purana and Ganesha Purana, which are just entertaining, which are fun. Eka is Maya. Ekadanta means the one who wields Maya. This is the Ishvara. Vakratunda means the ordainer of the Jagat, the resolver of the Jagat, the one who sustains the Jagat. Something like that they say. And may this Dantihi. Dantihi means the one who holds Maya. That's why you have the Agama Shastra which shows Ganesha. I think this Ganesha does that here. He holds the tusk in his hand. The tusk represents Jagat. Yeah, you go look, you will see that he holds the tusk in his right hand. And the one who holds the Jagat, the one who holds the power to create and withdraw the Jagat, that power is held in the right hand. And so unto that Ishvara in the form of Lord Ganesha, my namaskars. But what kind of namaskars? Hey, I know you. It's like seeing a long-term friend. That's why Ganesha is so popular. All the children go and hug Lord Ganesha. And they tie Rakhi. On that Raksha Bandhan day, when you tie Rakhi to the brothers, the sisters tie Rakhi to the brothers and say, please protect us. And then the brothers give gifts. Or there is a celebration for siblings. And here, the children go tie Rakhi to Ganesha. He is our first brother. So beautiful. And so that is what it is. And here it's a collective prayer coming from knowledge. So you greet Lord Ganesha, not even with Namaha here, you are transcending that Namaha because you already, the fruits of that Namaha were given in the second mantra. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And here the devotee says, I know I am non-separate from you. Please do not bring obstacles in my pursuit of this knowledge of non-separation. Very different prayer. So here the devotee says, Ekadantaya Vidmahe. Hey, we know you. We love you. We know you. It's like meeting an old friend. An extension, as it were, of myself. I don't know myself, but I'm beginning to know you. And Vakratundaya Dhimahi, we invoke this in you. What is that invocation? We invoke the power of dispelling obstacles. That is unsaid, but has to be interpolated. We invoke in you the power of dispelling all obstacles so that the gift of steadiness, of mind and focus, of pursuit can be gained. So please inspire us to continue with this pursuit by taking away all that does not belong. More we will see tomorrow. It is getting very interesting. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Any questions there are? I will take. Yes, you also have a beautiful day. Any questions here?
I just have a small question about chanting. When we say ekadantaya, is it all lower?
Yes.
The
So
sound?
therefore you take one lower than the other two to make it a little more for alankara purposes, for adornment. You can't say all three at one level, it will look funny. Ekadantaya. So, ekadantaya vidmahe eka. You make one higher than the other. Yeah. Yeah, Veena Dakshina Murthy, very famous with musicians. Yeah, Dr. Khilnani is back. You went to India. Good to see you. Yes, there is Panini at 4:30, not 3:30. Sometimes people mistake. But since it's weekend, we extend it a little bit. Yes, did you already ask it? Or are you going to ask it? Om Namah Shivaya is Maha Mantra. Keep chanting that. Yes. Oh, you already asked. Okay, then I have to look for it because in the all the other hellos it will be buried. So let me look. What did you say? Om Namah Shiva. Will it help us to gain knowledge? Yes, because it will. If you have jignasa and you read this mantra, will it help you to gain knowledge? Yes, but not in the way that you think. Perhaps the chanting it will not produce knowledge, but it will dispel all obstacles at home, at work, in the Jagat, so that you can continue to pursue this knowledge. In that sense, it will help you gain. And it will calm down the mind so that all obstacles within and without are gone. Good question. We started to teach Atharvashirsha. Very nice. Good. You can do that. Please teach. And they say, it will say later on, if you give it to 11 people, 8 people if you teach, you will become a Vidwan. So yes, Padmini and Shailaja are on their way to becoming Vidwans. Wonderful. So there was one more. What was this? If I was going to chant one mantra, would Om Namah Shivaya be a good one? Yes. Yes. Yes?
Aruna says she missed many classes due to some unavoidable travelling, and that's why she's on live stream.
Okay, no problem. She can come on this also. Whatever is good for her. Is there one more question? Yeah, it was a surprise, Shailaja. Don't worry. Yeah, Shaila, it was a great surprise. I'm very surprised. Yeah, Vidmahe means we know. We know. Excellent. When you have better weather, I'll be there. When the weather improves, call me, I'll come. Yeah, Moola Mahamantra of Gurukulam. Yes, that's wonderful practice. Namaste to you also. I am in Eugene right now. Yes. I'm in Eugene, Oregon. So near, yet so far. Correct? Wrong.